Hey Gems, welcome back to another video. I think I look a bit red, hold on. Yeah, we'll take that one off. Bear with, ooh, wow. Let there be light. Okay, I think this is good enough. And no, I'm not Kendra. Let me change the name. I do apologize, guys. I was having a bit of a malfunction and whatnot today. But anyway, welcome to another live stream. I have a very, very exciting guest, my very, very first male guest on here. I'm going to let him come on and he's going to introduce himself, and then we're going to have a bit of a chit chat into how I found him, what this live stream is going to be all about. And yeah, we are bringing smoke. Today. I'm ready to cook before my holidays. So yeah, without further ado, let me just bring him on. One moment.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, Jim?
I'm doing well, JD. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking, and thank you so much for having me, right? Your first male guest. I'm
I know,
excited.
right? I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you so much for inviting me.
No, you're very much welcome. Thank you for accepting my invite.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Considering
down
the
to collab anytime.
as well, the time difference as well. I know it's so early at yours.
Right, right. It's fine. It's about 10 a.m. and
Okay.
I don't work on Mondays, so
Mhm.
yeah, we're good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you. Actually, I'll say I'll let everyone know how I found you. I
Okay.
think I found you through Chantel. I think you were talking about obviously men and how they can be quite disrespected by their wives, their partners, and just treated less than. And you had a lady on the panel, and she was a Christian, or she is a Christian, and it was getting a bit, you know. And Chantel stepped in and she was like, well, you know, the patriarchy or whatever, but the Bible saying X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And this lady proceeded to say that, well, I kind of skip over those parts, essentially. And I
Yeah.
thought, who is this? Okay, I need to watch a lot more of your content. So that's pretty much how I found you.
Oh wow. Well, thank you so much for checking out the content. And yeah, over on my channel we have a lot of interesting conversations about
Mm-hmm.
dynamics about love and relationships and marriage as it relates to the Black community, right? So I've been rocking with Chantel for a minute now. I think when I first found Chantel, she might have had like 1,000, 2,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've been rocking with Chantel for a minute now, and she's been on my show several times. I've been on
Mm-hmm.
hers a few times, and yeah, I think that part of the reason why we were able to link up, Chantel and I, was because
Mm-hmm.
we talk about a lot of the same things, right? And
Mm-hmm.
spaces like these are growing. So I'm just thankful that you found me, and I'm glad to be
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
No, honestly, I like listening to the men in the space, manosphere, if you want to call it that. I do like hearing what's in, you know, different perspectives in general, but I like to hear it from men because obviously my channel's for the women who want to be married to marriage-minded men. So I thought, okay, well, the best way to know how to be with marriage-minded men is to hear from men who actually want to be married or have married before or have experience in that realm.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, we are going to be cooking today. Let me
Oh
just
yeah, I got the smoke.
we got this.
Yeah, I
So
got the
welcome
smoke.
everyone. I've got Dane here. Oh, you're all right. Please don't get fired. Alrighty, let us put the video. I'll just pop it here. Let's pause that to stream. Okay, can you see it all right on your end?
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Okay. So we're going to just react to this first, because that is where we are going to be having the conversation, from. I saw this floating around on Instagram. I see you rubbing your hand. I saw it floating around. I saw the title, the caption. I thought, okay. So yeah, we're going to watch the whole thing through. It's not really long. I think it's about a minute or two. And then we're going to, delve a little bit deeper into it, playing, stopping, and dissecting, because we need to unpack.
Excellent. I'm ready.
All righty, let's go.
What do you think the challenge is that women are having, Black women in particular, when it comes to becoming a wife?
Keeping it 100,
yes.
There's not enough eligible Black males who fit the needs of Black women. By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because Black women tend to want to marry Black men.
Right.
So Black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees.
Hold on. It keeps lagging. 1 second. Is it lagging on your end?
Yeah, it is. Just a little bit.
Okay.
They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a Black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a Black man on that same level or higher. If Black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
Is the vim in which she said it.
Right.
Okay. Let me bring it back here. We are going to replay it again at some point, but I'll hear. I don't know. Should I had my thoughts. I have my thoughts, and then we can delve a bit deeper. I was just thinking, even if it were true that there aren't enough eligible men for the needs of Black women, it goes to show that there are some. It's just there's not enough, right? Let's just say what they're saying is true. I don't actually believe it's true, but let's just say that is the case. If it's really true that there aren't enough men, but there are some, that means they're in limited supply. Therefore, the work and the competition falls back onto women to make sure that if they say they want marriage, kids, family, and all of that, they need to compete to get those men that are in limited supply. So I stick it back to the women, so we can say that, hey, this is what's there. But then it's like, so what? You can't shame men into wanting to be the eligible men that you are saying they. Oh, actually, let me put some music behind. Sorry.
No, you good.
In here. I do apologize. 1 second. Let's put some more here. It's gonna come in a minute. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
I can hear it. You got a little vibe going.
Yeah, because normally I have it on. I was like, it's pretty quiet here.
Okay.
What's going on? Yeah. So as I was saying, so let's just say this is true. There aren't enough men, and I'm a woman, and I'm saying, well, I still want a marriage-minded man. What does that mean for me? It just means I need to get my head down and really compete or avail myself to these men that I say that I want, who are in limited supply, so that I can get out the dating market and get the things that I say I want, right?
Right.
This is what I think women should be hearing, rather than tell them we're queens and we don't have enough men. Because we've got all these X degrees and X money, when in actual fact those things don't really matter, so to speak. Men don't value those things. Sorry, they don't place value on those things when it comes to finding a partner, right?
Right.
Unless you were a man, obviously, but you're not. You as a woman.
Right.
So if you place so much value in those things which are of value, you know, don't get me wrong, it's good to be educated, it's good to have your money right, they're all very valuable. However, if you do not have any relational skills, then when it comes to being a wife, unfortunately, it brings you all the way down. It's like trying to buy apples, but you got pears. That's your currency. You cannot get those things, right? So that's what I'm hearing, but I don't think that's how it was received. In the comments, everyone was like, "Yes, tell them." But then I'm like, "Tell who, please?"
Right. Tell who what. So let me just throw this out there to begin with. I find it very ironic and very funny how a few years ago, the same lady, Rebecca Lynn Pope, was on her YouTube channel giving women down the road for having unrealistic and standards that's like like the men that
I heard about that.
Yeah, the men that they're wanting, they don't exist. And over on my channel, it was I did a Kendra G reaction a couple months ago, right? And it was this lady. She was 50 years old, and she had a list this long, right? Over 100 things that she wanted this man to be. So it's like you don't want to leave any room for error. The only man that could really fit the bill, right, is Jesus.
Yeah.
And then even he wouldn't deal with all your BS, right? I mean, let's just be honest.
You mentioned you're a pastor, right?
Yes, I am a pastor.
I'm a pastor's daughter, so we're going to church today.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, you're a PK in the building.
I'm a PK.
Yeah, that's what's up.
My
but
goodness.
yeah, I'm a PK as well. But
nice.
Yeah, but and then the fact that this narrative is going around that black men aren't performing and black men aren't earning enough money and black men not doing this, it's all cap. It's all cap because let's just be honest. A lot of these ladies are on Instagram, you know, the IG models, they portray that they have, you know, this luxury lifestyle, but then they get on IG begging for some help to get home from a trip where, you know, they got stranded from getting flued out, right? So if women were doing all of this, right, all of them, like, well, most of them, then what we see is not balancing out.
Right.
And then even to go further, was it last week? Kendra G had a I don't want to call it a meltdown, but you know, she had to have a moment where she got the women together because have you ever seen her show?
I've seen snippets here and there where she gets people in and they're like, "What do you want?"
The singles. Yeah, the single show.
Yeah.
She says it all the time. Like, women will get on and have their checklist and this, oh yeah, girl, don't settle, don't lower your standards, da 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 da. But when men come with their standards because they've put in the work, then we automatically get shamed for it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that Cam Newton one. I did a reaction to it last week or something like that. And it was like, well, how dare he share his preferences? And it wasn't even a preference. It was just what he grew up seeing and what he sees a real woman to be. But all of a sudden, women who have been shouting what real men should be are like, how dare you tell us what real women are? And I think, there's that double standard there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a double standard. You know, women can say just this morning, I saw a clip from Daily Wrap Up Crew. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I've done a couple of reactions.
Yeah, Daily Wrap Up Crew. Yeah, I love their show. I love it. But a lady said that she doesn't even want a man to approach her if he's less than 6 feet tall.
Okay. Okay.
And then it's the fact of the matter is, it's like a small percentage of men, all men, that's over 6 feet tall. So if those men, if it's a small percentage of those men, and those men are in high demand, those men are going to want something, going to demand something, right? And a lot of ladies, I hate to say, just think that all they have to do is show up.
Right.
Here I am. But men have grown frustrated with not being able to have our voices heard. Just having to live and be miserable, right? And not have our needs thought about or catered to. And not having women that's willing to follow and get on a man's program, right? And I think that a lot of men are just at the point now, we just throwing up our hands, right? You know, same way women say that they rather be alone than settle. A lot of men are saying the same things, right? And then I'm sorry.
No.
You can tell I got a lot to say about this, right? But and then I also find it hilarious that women say that there's not it's a lack of good men making, you know, whatever amount of money, but a lady can have one and will give them up for a dog.
Oh Lordy, you better preach.
And that happens more than we like to realize or acknowledge, right?
There was this, sorry to cut you, I don't know if I'll find it on I downloaded it. The lady who divorced the husband, who's now passed because he didn't have enough money. I don't know if you've seen that clip floating around.
I saw it.
Guys, I don't know if you've seen it. I have it on my laptop. Let me pull it up as well, because
I saw it.
That is I was thinking to myself, I think we're going to have to react to both of them, because it ties in with this. We say we want the good men, because I can't remember if she came with a son already or they had a son together. But she expressed how this man was this amazing man, and also provided, as just it wasn't enough for the lifestyle that she wanted. So it's like, even when there are eligible men who are doing the work, it's still not enough, because we're still looking for God, you know?
Right.
Meanwhile, we are Jezebels.
Jezebels.
How can the good spirit and the bad spirit, like, how can we mix the two?
It doesn't happen. You can't, right? So I think that part of the problem is that women, not all, I think women are trying to get men to value them in a way that men don't value women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We value peace. We value support. We value femininity. We value your beauty, of course. We value, you know, how you make us feel, because contrary to popular belief, men have feelings too, right? And it's always been men are always taught how to treat a woman, what you're supposed to do for a woman. But then when it's the other way around, well, what are you supposed to do for a man? Is crickets. It's like, oh, the man doesn't matter. He's supposed to be making you happy. He's supposed to do everything for you. But you know, men are sitting back and not wanting to stay in situations and relationships to where we're miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't understand it, but I think that a lot of women need to seek therapy, right? Because if you tell somebody that you want one thing and they provide it, right? And then you still tell them that's not good enough, or then turn around and tell them you want something else. That's emotional abuse.
This is it. I think we do all these things, and as women, we haven't also learned how to express just gratitude, because I think nowadays the society has made it seem that even when you are providing, it's like, but that's the basic, you know, and it's like, okay, so now women in their 20s or whatever, like they are growing up expecting men who are of the same age to have things that men in their 50s have. And it's like our expectations have like, you know, it's
Right.
bigger than ourselves, but then no one's really stopping to question that, okay, this unicorn of a man that you say you want, what does he want? Does he want anything? Is he just going to be mute? You know, what is he emotionally available? Like, does he have, is he a human, please? Or is he a robot? You know, once you have these men, they want them to be alpha male, stoic, know how to speak to them, you know read their mind. You don't, if the real one should know what's on my mind already. No, they don't. I mean, I'm divorced, but I've spoken to loads of married women, and even just humans in general. If you want something, you have to open your mouth several times to say it, you know, especially like when it comes to love languages and stuff like that. But again, we've grown up with this mindset where, or should I say, the society's pumping this narrative that the real person, the real man, is just gonna know. And if they don't know, it's because they weren't real. They're not a real man. But then women are confidently saying these things, like beating our chest, telling men what they should and should not be. But you literally have Kevin. I'm a Kevin fan.
Yeah.
I call him Bay on here. You literally have Kevin saying average at best, and they're like, what?
Right. Yeah, and men are judged on their wallets all the time. And what the average income, $50,000. Oh, I can't be with a man making that much money, making $50,000. That's average, right?
Yeah.
So
if you're 40 and he's 40, that's 80.
Exactly.
Income.
Exactly.
But no, you're gonna bump heads with your 20 because you want an 80. But the 80 wants something. But you're like, oh no. How dare you want something up there?
Right.
I'm a 10. And you're like, oh, you know.
Exactly. And then, you know, that suggests that there's no room for improvement if everybody's a 10, right? So, I mean, the problem is a lot of ladies have been, unfortunately, fed this false narrative that they're supposed to be put up on a pedestal and a man is supposed to automatically provide, right? And you're automatically entitled to his resources. And you don't have to do anything for it, but just show up. And he's supposed to be glad to do it. And
I think it worked for so long.
It did.
Until smartphones, social media, feminism, and all of that. And I think women, we've shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
That's what I say, because we've shown our true colors. Men have woken up and they're like, hey, so this is what's in there.
Right. But you know what? You know what's funny though? Social media is really, really powerful. But I'm 35 years old. Okay. And a lot of the things that we talk about in spaces like these now are things that me and my best friends start noticing at like 18, 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? But it was like we had to be quiet and sneak and talk about these things. You know what I'm saying? It was only talked about in the barbershops and the locker rooms or whatever. And then if a lady came around, you know what I'm saying? You can't say this out loud. But now men have more spaces that we can talk freely and openly about a lot of the suffering that men have gone through, whether it be emotional abuse, even physical abuse, right? Because a lot of that does not get talked about. Look at what's going on with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard right now. Made to be the victim, destroyed
him,
his career, right? And she was the one that's crazy.
Yep. And literally everyone was automatically on the woman's side. This is what I keep saying, like with when I started doing Kevin's reactions, a lot of women were like, well, I can't believe a woman would be supporting someone who degrades Black women, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, have you sat down to listen to it objectively? You know, I'm trying to hear it like as a group, and then based off my conclusions off of that, like the information that's coming through, I have to weigh both of them and see, okay, that sounds right. Not, hey, I've seen a woman, automatic, I'm on the woman's side. No, I'm on the side who is most oppressed. And most of the time, it seems like it's the men.
Right.
And like most of the time when I'm watching Kevin's channel, Kevin's show, and I'm like, okay, I can empathize with the women. You know, they've said that they weren't taught how to be wives. They have made poor choices, this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, so the woman who's actually speaking to Kevin is getting information, new information, and is changing. However, the woman who's sat in her home is stuck in the victimhood where that woman was, you know? And even though she's been transformed and liberated from her suffering, pre-Kevin, you sitting at home's like, how dare you speak to that woman like that, this, that, and other. Why? Because it hit your nerve, but you're not ready to check your issues. And I think that's what's happening with a lot of women. Like, we are latching onto people's sufferings, and then we're rolling with it as facts and not, you know, stepping outside of it and saying, but is this true for my circumstance? And how is this going to bring me towards the outcomes that I say I want? And that's what I always try to help women with here. And I know not everyone is going to like come on board. To be fair, there aren't enough men. That's what we're talking about today, isn't it? There aren't enough men. So I'm only talking to the women who are like, yeah, even if there aren't enough men, I still want a marriage-minded man, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to get that. And so those are the women I'm speaking to. Right.
And I think that's important because let's just say go with the fact that like you said earlier, that it's true that there are not enough eligible marriage-minded men. Okay. So I would argue that there are not enough marriage-minded women that are realistic, right? So if that be the case, those women that really are marriage-minded, you know, learn men, right? Learn what you can do for a man, so it can be a even exchange, right? And I need people to understand that in no way am I saying that it's supposed to be just all about the man, all about the man. It goes both ways, but men deserve to be catered to as well. You know, we work hard, you know what I'm saying? And to be a protector, provider, priest, prophet, all of that stuff, right? For our family. We work hard to do that. I say on my channel all the time, you know, we got the men over here, and then we got, you know, the men down here. I'm part of these men up here. And I just think that if more women would actually learn, hey, you know, I need to make, you know, my man happy too. It goes both ways. I think that we be more conducive to seeing two-parent households in the Black community. And then to go further, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. And then to go further, you know, since there are not enough eligible marriage-minded women, you know, the women that are marriage-minded and want to be with the man to have a family, they have the upper hand right now.
The thing is, like, I think there are a lot of women who want to be married, but they're not marriageable. That's the issue. So, and then most of them, I would say, are not listening to understand. The men are giving you the cheat code. Hey, I want peace. I want femininity. I want you to be friendly. I want you to be fit. They're like, no, you don't. You said you wanted the degree. You said you wanted me to work 9 to 10 or whatever. You know?
Right.
And I think sometimes what they're hearing is, so you're telling me that all the work that I put into my degree, all the work I put into my career, it means nothing. And men are saying, yeah, it means nothing to us.
Yeah, and then
what?
and it's not necessarily the fact that it means absolutely nothing. It's the fact that we don't put as much weight on it, right? Because, and the reason why is because if men are expected to provide, right, and to make all of this money, then I can't be dependent on your money.
Right.
Or I can't focus on your money. I've got to do this, you know what I'm saying, in order to sustain a family and a household. Because if we just be honest, a lot of women don't want to be responsible for a lot of the bills, right?
Yeah.
They want the man to pay the majority of the bills, right? So if I'm paying the majority, if not all the bills, then...
And all I'm asking is appreciate me, respect me,
right,
love me, feed me, give me peace of mind. They're like, no, that's too much to ask.
Right. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I was watching a podcast the other day, a reaction. And I think it was actually some British ladies, American content creator reacted to it. And she was basically saying that, yes, she can cook. Yes, she can clean. However, because it's now expected of her, she no longer wants to do it. And I was like, what? So it's like, let's say you have children. Now they want to eat. Oh, but now you've expected me to cook, my dear. You are going to starve.
Right.
How does this mindset, these things, they talk about it in their echo chamber, as Mediocre says all the time. It's like, yeah, that's so true. Yeah. But you bring logic into it, and they're like, but that doesn't make sense in practice. It's like a man standing up and saying, oh, just because you expect me to take that bullet for you, or just because you expect me to rugby tackle that burglar who's coming in to attack you and the kids, I'm just not going to do it.
Right.
It just don't make sense to me.
It's not going to fly.
It's just not going to fly. And I think a lot of women, we're not thinking things through. I think, again, that's why I'm saying social media has been a blessing and a curse, sometimes to our own detriment as women, because we are telling on ourselves. To some women, they'll, cheer you on. However, men are like, oof, this is what's in their head. We're just going to walk past, And I think if women were really smart, they would be these pick-me's. Not necessarily in the sense where, is it April Mason? I think her name was April Mason.
The most recent dating coach that quit.
Yeah. There was the thing where she was talking about, be feminine and men are the byproducts of, and I was like, what? What? If you are feminine, you are feminine. It's just, who you are. It's a state of being. It's not conditional, right? The man I will only be feminine when this. And I think a lot of women are showing their true colors if you let them talk long enough. And that's why I'm always like, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy because now men are waking up. Yes, it's a lot more work now for the traditional women. You kind of have to show that you're traditional, but probably not too much. They'll pick it up once they speak to you 1 or 2 times. Right? Because now the information's out there. But I am letting women know that you will have to prove yourself or show a bit of effort show what's in your head a lot more, so that they know what kind of mindset you have. Because now men are like, nope, to them, everyone is a modern woman.
Right.
All women are modern women. And I think it's good if they see all of us as modern women.
Yeah.
Because then the traditional women can go, we're gone. And then the modern ones can keep chatting and then leave it 10 years down the line. And then it's going to be like, where are all the good men at?
Mm-hmm.
No, buy a dog and die low.
Right. It just doesn't. It just does not make sense if men are screaming and saying, "This is what we want. This is what we require," and women are saying, "No, it's not. This is what you require. I'm what you require." We're saying, "I don't. No, it's not. I don't understand what the disconnect is." I was listening to The Godfather the other day, and he gave the analogy of going in a restaurant wanting a steak. If I go in a restaurant and say I want a steak, and you bring me, and you bring me some mashed potatoes and not a steak, I'm gonna have a problem. You can't force me to buy that, and I don't want it.
It could be the best mashed potatoes in the world.
Right.
Steak.
You know what I'm saying? I want steak. And if you're not gonna give me steak, I'm just gonna get up and walk away. And that's what a lot of men are doing, is just getting up and walking away from the table as a whole.
And the thing is, women are saying that they won't settle, but then but they want men to settle for them, but they don't see it as settling. That's my little qualm with them, because I'm thinking, so you want them to settle for you because you are under the assumption that you are actually feminine. You're under the assumption that you're actually a wife. You know, it's just because they haven't stepped up. That's why you haven't been able to exhibit those qualities just yet. You know, you're under all these assumptions that you are up here. But really and truly, are you though? This is the question that I'm trying to get women to start sitting down. Like, you know, what do you bring to the table? I don't know men who actually ask those questions, but I think since it was trending so much, I was like, I think this is a good question to actually ask yourself. What is it that you bring to the table, my dear?
So many people get triggered by that question, right? And I think that a lot of people get triggered by the question. Well, a lot of women rather get triggered by the question is because they don't have anything to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that's valuable. You know, it's
right.
Someone said she was pretty and she was funny, and I was thinking, okay, and so are many other women.
Yeah,
what sets you apart?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna laugh at these bills.
Like Kevin put it so beautifully. He said, what haven't you offered a man? Oh, hold on. What have you offered a man that you haven't already offered to a man before? And I was like, ooh, well, you know, some of us, we can say that we haven't offered our men children, but most of these women, you know, bust wide open, left, right, center. So really, it comes down to the fact that to men, we women, we're pretty much the same. We're on one level. And now, based off of what's in our heads and the peace of mind that we can bring to the table, that's where they're going to start picking or choosing their mates from. But this is where women don't want to hear, because they've obviously spent so much time and investing so much into their education, into their careers, because they think that will level them up. And it will level you up, I think, among your peers. But when it comes to the dating market, SMV, as Kevin was saying, the sexual marketplace value, how you look like, you know, how feminine you are, you know, your relationship skills and, you know, your wifely skills, where are you on that scale? And it's like, but can anyone tell women to do better? You know, is there anything to improve as women?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask most women today, I mean, they're perfect. They've never done anything wrong in a relationship, and just everything is on the men, right? But I mean, if you just look at the rate that women leave relationships, mostly, and men are not really quick to leave relationships, right? Because it's something in us. Even if we know that this is not where we want to be or need to be, a lot of times men will still at least try, because it's something inside of us that cares for a woman's heart and a woman's feelings, right? And we don't want to hurt women's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about these men up here, right? I'm not talking about,
Yeah,
the future.
I was just about
Yeah,
to say, they're like, well, that's not my reality.
yeah.
My truth. Again,
Start
women.
start dealing with the men up here, and if the men up here are the men that you want, you need to try to figure out what these men want, right? Because look, I'll just be honest with you. I work too hard, right, to not get peace in my home. I
want peace in my home.
right. I work too hard, to be disrespected. I work too hard just to men don't want to deal with the attitudes, right? Men, we work too hard to get ourselves in a position to where we can raise a family, to where we can provide, right? And men are just tired. They're tired, and then a lot of times it's sad to say that a lot of these women will come into a relationship or a marriage with a man and not want to work with them or support them, but it seems like they're just working against you all the time, right? And it is really unfortunate because, like I said, men are not the ones that typically leave a relationship. Women are filing for divorce a lot more than men are, right? And the fact that men want to get married and that they know that they got to work hard and can't find a woman to give them what they want, like Cam, what he saw his parents do, right? We'll get canceled just for saying that.
Yeah, like I think I was watching different reactions to it, and someone was like, I bet the mum was getting shouted at and beaten, and I was thinking,
oh my goodness,
where did you hear that from?
That is not the norm.
The man to lead,
right?
Oh, Gabrielle, welcome. What did you say? So some women are misguided to believe femininity is a bargaining. Yes, they don't realize half their frustration is, oh, you better preach, Gabrielle.
Bars.
Yes, this is it. They're like, I will do this. I will appear like this. They've got the outward adornment, the makeup. Boy, everyone looks like they're going somewhere every single day. I don't know how they do it. Hence the casual gems. We're just coming here natural as we are. And I'm just thinking to myself, a lot of women spend so much time in the external, appeal, so that we can look the part. Exactly what Cam said. We want to look the part, but the minute we're backed against the corner, where men are starting to explore our minds, the truth comes out.
Right.
And it's like, but this is the life, this is the world we're in now. From man's point of view, we are all modern women to a certain degree, because they don't know what's in our minds, and we're constantly telling on ourselves, and they are the loudest, the modern women. They are the loudest. Yeah, they're very, very loud.
Right.
And it's like, men are like, I don't know, this doesn't sound peaceful for me.
Right, absolutely.
We frustrate ourselves. Yep.
Right. And like you were saying about this conditional stuff, women, modern women, they like to try to leverage that, but they'll say, "Oh, well, you don't get wife benefits, right?
Yeah.
Just being a girlfriend." But you have ladies coming on the dating show. I need a man that can pay my rent. So what? How is it that you can get automatically husband benefits, right?
Oh gosh.
But you're not gonna be feminine. You're not gonna be cooperative. You're not gonna make a sandwich. Nothing.
No, that's like
But I
when
got to pay your rent.
It's so true. You know, Kevin did someone snipped like a really short snippet or clip from one of his videos about, I think it was the foodie day. And he said something about, don't accept a date after 7 p.m. if you're not going to,
Yeah. Bust it wide open.
Yeah, bust it wide open. And I was like, yes, go on afternoon dates. Go, if women told on themselves when that clip came out, because all of them want wifely duties, or they want to be taken serious. They want that, but when the tables are flipped, it's like, oh no, I'm not doing anything for you because you haven't earned it,
Right.
And I think, oh my goodness, oh gosh, this conditional femininity at the core of it all. Most of these women are under the assumption that they already are wives. But the truth of the matter is, most of them are not wives. They wouldn't be screaming.
Absolutely.
They wouldn't be screaming online. Wives don't comport themselves like that.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
And this thing of conditional femininity is funny because masculinity can never be conditional. Right?
Oh no,
you want a masculine man. If I came up to you, right, and I said, "Girl, Jim, that's a nice bag you got on, girl. Oh, you rocking it, girl. Oh, go with your bag." You wouldn't be attracted to that, right? But if I said, "Oh, well, you got to earn my masculinity. You got to earn that. I'm masculine, but you got to earn that. I'm gonna be until you earn my That sounds crazy.
Sounds so off.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of times modern women need to, kind of listen to their own advice and see, does it really make sense? No. Because if men went by the same logic that a lot of modern women use, we'd be in trouble.
Right. It's so interesting. I think I was watching It's Complicated. I don't know if you know him on here.
Oh yeah, I love that channel.
Yeah, absolutely love him. He was talking about I think I did a reaction to it. It was about submission, I think. He was talking about, do you want a dominant man, this, that, and the other? Like, what is it? A lot of these women said they want masculine men, they want men to take the lead, And then he was like, well, how do you strike the balance between dominance and controlling? And then it's like, controlling tends to be from the men who they don't see as, like, if they don't really like the man, all of a sudden is branded as controlling. But a different man could be doing exactly the same thing, but it will be seen as dominance. But even once that has been, established, one of them needs to submit. And it's like, so can you truly have dominance without submission? And then some of them were like, "Oh, we see what you were doing there."
Yeah.
We want the dominance, but that we can only bring true dominance out when we're truly feminine, so that there's that balance. So that goes to show that women, we have a lot more work to do, because we are the ones lacking in the femininity, because there are those masculine men out there, and we have understood that those are the men that women say they want. But then for it to be truly seen as dominance and not controlling, we need to be feminine. And then they were like, Oh, that's work.
Yeah, I mean, it's facts. I mean, you can't get around that. And then you will hear modern women say, "Oh, well, I'm masculine, but I need a man that can handle me, or I need a man that can deal with my dominance, so that my dominance won't be so much."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no man wants to
That's
come
not
in.
the equation.
Yeah, exactly. No man wants to come in fighting with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like, come on. I used to wrestle in high school,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So, you know, the last thing I want to do with my lady is come into this thing and have to get into a collar elbow tie up with her, right? It should be easy. You know what I'm saying? If you find somebody that's beautiful, feminine, cooperative, all of that stuff, and you are in your masculine frame and where you need to be as a man, and you can see the trajectory of where you're going, right? And you can lay out the vision for her, like it should be easy, right?
Oh yeah.
And
And even when you say easy, I know people will be like, when, you know, marriages are tough, but simple, let's say simple, right? It can be easy in a way, yet challenging, if that makes sense.
Right. And so what I mean is that initial connection should be easy. That's what I mean.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But then in the actual union, there are going to be those, like, because you're a team, isn't it? So team against the circumstance rather than you against me. Because I think that's the dynamic we're seeing now, where it's like this two opposing, well, masculine and masculine trying to headbutt each other. You know, like, who wears the pants? Who wears the pants? Oh, I want you to wear the pants, but I don't want to take mine off. That's what women. Women are like, I want you to wear the pants, but I still want to keep mine on. Can you have two pilots though?
No,
I don't know.
It didn't work like that. You know.
Oh, women. So that takes us to this point here. I know we've already debunked this. Is Jesus, the Savior himself. Oh, but yeah. Women, black women, who is then fit for us, please? We need to know whilst we let's let this marinate. Scabriosis. I think those women view masculinity as a false sense of control. They equate feminine. Yes. Gabrielle.
She dropping bars, right?
I love you here. Thank you so much, Gabrielle.
Oh yeah, she dropping bars.
True. When we confuse masculinity with this control, this is when they pick emotionally unavailable men. Remember when I went back to them wanting like this unicorn, this man who's detached from emotions, you know, because they themselves don't want to bring anything to the table. But when you realize as a human, you need to bring something into any kind of union or any type of relationship and then have that reciprocated. That's when there's that balance. But they generally want to go in and have this full sense of masculinity, controlling, dominating, whatever. And that's when it kind of turns into this toxic kind of environment. And I think most of it probably stems from like childhood, where there's that the chaos or the has been normalized for them. So internally, without the healing, they're chasing for that constant erratic ness in them, because they see that as passion and stuff like that. But in actual fact, relationship, marriages, healthy ones, can be very mundane, very monotonous. It's not always excitement. It's not always let's travel to Dubai, let's travel to here. Sometimes it's stay at home in your pajamas and eat hot noodles, you know, because you have, you know, peace of mind. And I think what Gabrielle has said is so true. True femininity, being nice, being gentle, being kind, is like, well, don't you have an opinion? And it's like, yes, I do, but I know when to speak, and if it's even necessary to add my 2 pence. You know, I want to save my air. And I think most women think that if you're feminine, or femininity is this like quiet mouse somewhere where you're being dominated by some alpha, you know, just like jump, and they're like, how high? But really and truly, that isn't what femininity is at all.
No, not even a little bit. You know, I don't like this notion that being feminine or being submissive to your man is weakness.
Mm.
That's actually a strength, right? That's actually, and watch this. It's a strength not only for the woman, but it's a strength for the man too. So when a woman is feminine in a marriage relationship, I don't think that ladies understand how your femininity will motivate and inspire a man, right?
Yeah.
Just being soft and feminine will make you want to get up and get to the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it'll make you want to, you know, you start thinking ahead, like, okay, you know, she holding it down. She make me feel like this. You know, I'm gonna send her some flowers, you know, in the next week or so. You know, I'm gonna bring her a nice bottle of wine and all that stuff. Like the stuff that the things that women are
demanding.
Demanding, the key to get it is being feminine. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't understand it. And if men are saying this, hey, if you be feminine, you get ABC. But women are still saying we want ABC, but we want ABC how we want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think the truth of the matter is because they have so many unhealed things within them, you know, and they know, well, having been through like the whole healing process, getting into like human psychology and understanding, like really holding that mirror to yourself, facing your triggers, facing traumas or, you know, past hurts, toxic stuff, betrayals, poor judgments, poor choices that we have made. Most of the time, it's looking at ourselves and saying, wow, we're actually full of crap. We're actually not this 10 that we thought we were. We are actually flawed. And I think that's the human side. When we understand that, wow, okay, this is where I'm at. Oh, I'm actually here. Okay, now I can do the work to go up here, you know? Then I can see like healthy relationships as something that I also need to pour into, if that makes sense. I think it's like they're searching for their parents or their caregivers in these men. They want them to do all these things for them whilst they have the responsibilities of children. As a child, responsibilities as a child, childlike responsibilities. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, because as children, they're dependents on us, isn't it? And they want us to take care of all their needs, you know, tantrums, take them as they are. But as women, when we have not grown up or as we've grown up, we haven't addressed those issues. Now we're coming into adult relationships, still being childlike, you know, and expecting and demanding these big things from another man who also has his, you know, trauma, unhealed, whatever. But we want them to forego everything and pick us. I don't know how, as women, we think we can do that. And I'm not saying that we need to be fully healed before we can be fully loved. No, but we do need to understand that we are messed up to a certain degree, you know, and we need to come in with meekness, you know, like that's my favorite quality, meekness. And I think I don't even know if it's even a word that a quality that can be found in today's society. Meek as a woman, you'll be seen like a mouse.
Right. You know, you gotta have this bigger than life persona, right? You gotta be like the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions.
Yeah. And you need to throw men under the bus in order to be seen as, she's a queen. And it's like, but do we have to throw our weight around? Do we have to throw people under the bus in order to feel worthy? You know, why can't we just be flawed and all, you know, with our flaws, with our brokenness, and say, hey, I know this is where I'm at. This is where I'm trying to go to. And I think this is how we can come together. And I know you have your issues, but here I am to help you, and you are also here to watch my back as well. We watch each other's back. I don't know why women don't want to do that. And I think, again, it comes back to the whole not being able to face themselves. You know, because if they actually face themselves, they'll know that they're average.
Right.
And then that means they need to go find an average suitor. And it's not a bad thing.
Exactly. It's not.
Why they make it seem as though it's such like, oh, that's so beneath me. And it's like, but you want the 10% to settle for you. You're beneath him.
Yeah, and you know, I think the problem is it's a song coming to my mind. I can't remember who sung it or whatever, but it was something along the line saying that I'm allergic to average, right?
Okay.
But I mean, if you're a superstar and you got millions of dollars, then you can say that you're allergic to average.
Right.
But if you're making $50,000, you can't say that you're allergic to average because you're average.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with being average. Most people are average.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think too that average people are not usually all ambitious to the level that most modern women want men to be. Right? Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to be a millionaire. Everybody's not meant to run a business, right? We have to have those people, you know, working construction, building infrastructure and all that stuff. You know, they were having a conversation on the PEEF about this very thing, right? But average, you know, some people are cool with making, you know, $40,000, $50,000, and they're living a good life. They're taking care of themselves. Bills are paid. You know, they're not in a large amount of debt or anything like that. And you know, it's nothing wrong with that. But I think that too many people think that they're entitled to live a luxury lifestyle. Or at least moderate luxury, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the lifestyle
that's being fueled, isn't it? Because they want something to post about. And I always say that I don't know what the hurry is to always switch on the camera and post. Switch on the camera and post. Like no one's ever just present in the moment. You know, you always want to post about something. And I think on a smaller scale is, you know, going out on a date and wanting to post where you are just to shout that, hey, he took me to this, you know.
Yeah.
That's on the smaller scale. But when it's left unchecked, this is when they have these inflated egos and expectations and standards, and they call it leveling up and not settling. But I think it's because the lifestyle is what's fueling them. Sorry, because they can't bear to just be normal, everyday people. You know, it's like every day there has to be this rush. There has to be something that, I don't know. I think they're just chasing for that external validation rather than that inner peace and true, like behind the scenes, you know, being truly, truly happy. I don't think they're really thinking about that. I think they're thinking about, I wonder what I'm gonna get that dopamine rush. I'm gonna get that attention. I'm gonna get that like, that engagement. Like, oh, look at her. She was 40. She still had kids, and she you know, still able to bag this, that, and the other. They want that story rather than she was a great woman. She found herself a great man, and they lived, you know, in their quiet home, had their children, you know, took them to nursery. But, you know, that sounds boring. They want something like, you know.
Yeah.
That's probably what that is, and that's fueling them. But the truth of the matter is, again, there aren't enough men to go around, sweetheart.
Exactly. Listen, I'm not gonna call any names, but I saw a lady post something on her page, right? And it was a decent picture, but she posted it, then took it down, and then reposted it again, and then said, I didn't get enough likes on this, so I had to repost.
For real?
Yeah, for real, for real. Oh, I'm reposting this because I don't know where y'all was at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
because I
yeah,
know I look good.
right. I should have more likes than this. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get that 100%. You know, and I think I think it's sad. You know, you should look to you know, your spouse and your spouse only. You know, for that validation. And you know, in this age of social media, you got access to so
Free
many people.
validation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
free validation.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got these simps that are in the comment section. Oh, beautiful, I drink your bath water and all of this. Listen, you look.
You Americans are just like, that's why I like shifting my content down there, because I hear so many bars. That's just so funny. I'll drink your bath water.
Yo, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, you got these simps that will, you know, give them validation and cash out them money just because it's Wednesday and they pretty. You know what I'm saying? And nah,
This is
it's not going down like that.
Yeah, it's like, this is it. Again, goes back to, it's complicated. I was watching one of his videos as well, and what I learned was, because women, right from birth, we have inherent value. You know, you're always going to be wanted to a certain degree to a man, whether it's right or wrong. You know, you get where I'm going with that. You'll always have something a man wants.
Right.
So, but now you have to understand, every woman to a certain degree again has it, or has the same thing. So we're actually, there's nothing special about you to a certain degree. But I think when you grow up having attention without really earning it, you don't then value it to a certain degree. You're like, well, I always get it anyway. So it's like, when you're not getting it, it's like, it's not more of what am I doing wrong that I'm not getting it. It's more like, what's wrong with you, and why are you not doing what you're meant to be doing?
Right,
you know, like a spoiled brat. And I think that's what a lot of women, we've grown up being hailed. You know, we can't do any wrong in the society, in the media. We're hailed, we're praised, you know, for doing all these things, even when, you know, there are moments where we should be taking accountability. We're kind of praised and celebrated for these flaws. So now that obviously the manosphere is coming, it's like, oh, this is an attack on women. Like, how dare you tell us there's something wrong with us? But I think in the same breath, a lot of women are saying, oh, actually, no, we need to listen. Oh, I think my husband's actually doing a great job. I didn't realize. Because now you've seen in someone's marriage, it's not so great. And you actually have a great man. So now you're like, okay, I better get my head out of the cloud and treat this man as a king, because it's actually wild out there.
Right.
And men are waking up and saying, oh, this is what's out there.
Yeah.
I think who is it? I think it's the lead attorney. He's like second bay on here as well.
Yeah.
And I was watching some of his live streams. They're quite long.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I was just like, it helps you understand that, you know, most of these men, if they hadn't stumbled upon the manosphere, they will continue to be taken for granted. And they will continue to think that it was their fault and they were never doing enough. When in actual fact, now because of the manosphere, they understand that, oh, I've actually been doing I've been on my purpose. I've been doing what I was meant to be doing. And someone out there would actually appreciate what I'm bringing to the table. It's just because I'm with an ungrateful woman.
Right, right.
And that's what I'm happy about, because men are starting to stand up and have more like courage and say that, no, enough is enough. You cannot talk to me like that, you know? And I think one time Lead was talking about a gentleman who was like on the brink of divorce. I think the wife couldn't leave him, and this was, I think, 20 or 25 years that they'd been together, and he was in pieces because this woman was like everything to him, kids and everything. But then, like, when he came to watch more of Kevin, stumbled upon Lead and the Manosphere, he was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm sure they went their separate ways, but this time he weren't in tears.
Right. And again, it goes back to the point that I made earlier that men are not usually the ones that's known for leaving relationships. I've seen so many stories and instances where a couple has been together for 15, 20 plus years, and then just one day the lady gets up, I'm not happy, I want a divorce, and I'm going to take half of all your stuff. And men are saying that's not a good deal for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did all of this, right? Work, provided for a family, kids, and all this, and then one day you decide you're not happy and gonna leave and take half of my stuff.
Yeah, this is why a lot of men don't want to be married. They don't want to get into marriage because of the legal side of it. Like I was speaking to one of my friends who happens to be a subscriber. I met him through YouTube, and we were just talking about this because I was coming from the point where marriage is great, but I was coming from like religion, the faith-based stuff, the constitution. The institution of marriage outside of legal and stuff like that. The government and things of that nature. So when he opened my eyes to that area, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand. And a lot of women know these things. They're like, okay, I'm gonna hook him here.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It's a wrap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And men are like, no, you're not.
Yeah, we ain't falling for the okie doke no more. We actually we require something, and if we know that what type of man we have to be, and we need a certain type of woman to help put the legacy into motion. You know what I'm saying? You can't have you can't have two masculine frames at the same time. It's just not going to work. But Gem, let me give you some statistics right here, right? And not enough eligible men making enough money and everything, right? These statistics come from blackdemographics.com. Okay. Now it says that 20% of black men earn $50,000 to $74,000, right?
Okay.
Do you know what the number is for black women in that same bracket?
No.
17%.
What? Come again.
17% of black women earn $50,000 to $74,000, right?
17%. Okay.
The number is 20% for men. Okay.
Okay.
Not a big gap, but still more, right? And then 13% of black men, 13%.
13.
Of black men earn $75,000 or more.
13. Okay.
And do you want to know what the number is for black women that earn $75,000 or more?
Give it.
9%.
Oh. Okay.
9%.
Okay. So where are they getting this thing about they out earning men then?
It's ludicrous. They're pulling it out of their head. They're pulling it out of their stick. Yeah, and they want it to fit their narrative, and it just doesn't. So it's like in 33%, total of the whole population earn $50,000 or more of black men and 26% of the entire black female population earn more than $50,000. So that if 26%, 33% more than $50,000.
Yeah, like what is this?
If you look at the numbers, black men are doing just fine.
This is it. Do you have the data for the eligible, the men who are single and childless? Because I've been trying to find that information.
Let's see if I can find it. I didn't have that one pulled up.
Because I know that they like to pull that one out, and I think I think Kevin, the last time the information he gave was, I think 56% were single and childless.
Right.
But I think someone was saying in my comments that most of them are either bi or homosexual or incarcerated or underage.
Again, not true. I'm going to find that, or at least I'm going to attempt to find it. But before I go there, see, I came prepared. I told you I was going to bring the smoke.
Oh yeah, bring the smoke.
Now let's look at the education for a moment.
Okay.
All right. 50% of black men attend college.
50.
50%. 50.
Yeah.
The number for black women that attend college or have attended college is 59%.
Okay.
So that's more. That's more than the men, right? Okay. Now, 19% of black men have a bachelor's degree or higher.
Okay.
All right. 24% of black women have a bachelor's degree or higher.
Okay, so it's not this stark. Okay,
it's more, right? But it's not. Black women are running circles around black men. That's no, it's not true. And a lot of people want to you just spit out narratives and things. It's not true.
They're hoping that it will stick.
Right, it's just not true. But yeah, I'm gonna do some digging and see.
Oh, I'm excited because I keep hearing that there are not enough men. Of course, there's a lot more women than men. But I think even with that, it just means the women we need to do a lot more work, basically, because if we want to get out of the ghetto, the dating market, then we're gonna have to do some work.
Absolutely. So, right now, here it is. 52% of black men have never been married.
Okay.
33. No, it doesn't give an age.
Okay.
But 52% of black men have never been married, right? And then you got to go back and look at the statistics of the earnings. I'm gonna have to do some dissecting. I don't think I have the time to do it right now, but
don't worry.
Yeah, 52% never married. And then check this out. It's another narrative that says that black men love the white women, right? What? Shout out to the lead attorney, the smooth cat. That cracks me up every time he says that. But yeah, check this out. 85. These are of the black men that are married.
Okay.
85% of the black men that are married have a black wife.
85.
85%.
Wow.
9%.
Wow.
Only 9 are married to a white woman.
Oh, child. You better fix up and get you a black man because nobody wants you.
Exactly, right? 3% have a Hispanic wife.
Okay.
And then 3% have something that's other than that.
Right. Okay, so it's black, Hispanic, white. Those are the top.
Mm-hmm.
Well, black is the top, really.
Yeah, black is the top.
Yeah.
So this narrative that black men don't want black women is not true.
Do you have the one for black women who marry out? Because
Yes, black
apparently
women.
they're
Okay.
marrying out
Now,
because you're not fixing up, men.
So, of black women who are married, 93% have a black husband.
Wow! So y'all want the black men?
Yeah. Black women typically want to be with black men.
They do.
And only 4%. Only 4%. Yeah. 4% of black women have a white spouse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like a piece of percent that's married to Hispanic and a piece of percent that's other than that. So
wow. That's why women, listen, this is why I say having men in the mix is so important. They bring logic, they bring facts, they bring statistics into the mix, just so that when we're in our emotions, we can be there, but not we don't need to stay there. Because whether we want to live in our delusions or not, reality is this is what it is, you know. So you can bang on about, but that's not my lived experience. That's not my reality. But in reality, if you come out of that bubble, then you start to understand that, okay, I need to move with intentionality because this is what reality is. And I think that's what we are not able to do, or they don't want to do it. They don't want to face the reality.
Absolutely. And I think that a lot of ladies don't want to face the reality because sometimes, let's just be honest, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
And to think that, I've been taught wrong or I've been doing it wrong all of this time. It's not the easiest thing to deal with, and I'll give ladies that, but black
they
people
want the men to do it. This is it. Because I grew up with my dad's very strict, pastor, with lots of principles. And I remember when he was teaching me how to be disciplined, how to be proactive, how to use my initiative, all of those qualities. It was not fun. I did not like him, know. But then growing up now, it's made me an all-rounded woman, like discipline. I've got all of those things there, and I think a lot of women who haven't maybe grown up with that father figure and having that balance from the softness, they're not able to just see that. Okay, so love can come in different forms, and just because someone is correcting me or guiding me in a certain way doesn't mean they don't like me, or it doesn't mean they're misogynistic. It's just understanding that. And I think last year or so I did a whole series on the rod and the staff, since we're going to church today.
Okay.
I used Kevin Samuels as the shepherd in that setting. We have the rod and we have the staff. The staff a lot of us have grown up with the staff, just being coddled, being not pandered per se, but the soft approach, the gentle approach. And I think we need that from time to time. However, we need the rod too. We need the rod, we need the fire, especially when we're running ourselves based off of our own mistakes and our choices. We're running ourselves into a ditch. The shepherd will use the rod to yank that sheep out of the gutter. He doesn't go, "Oh, poor sheep. Oh, okay." No, he yanks you out. And I think that's why I love Kevin's delivery. It's fire. You hear it, you're like, what? He needs that shock factor. You need that. And I think this is what women who may have not grown up with that toughness. It's not even toughness. I don't see it as tough, but again, I have to be empathetic and put myself in their shoes, because this will sound very foreign and harsh and blunt to them. But it's just something I was trying to teach them, that love can come in different forms, And sometimes the one that's yanking you out of the gutter is the one that truly, truly loves you, rather than the one that's bringing you a blanket in said gutter.
Right.
Hello, James Jackson.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, I think that, you know, you're absolutely right. People are way too soft, right? And if black men didn't care, you know, we just go off and do our thing somewhere else. But black men want to be with black women.
Yeah, I think that's why there's that. I know a lot of women argue that. Well, then the ones who are marriage minded, why don't they just get with the ones who are minded as well? And it's like, but there's not enough women. You know? We kind of have to, you know, we want you, but we kind of need you to do a bit of work so that we can be with you, because we genuinely want you and we don't want to go out. Especially now that you've shown us the statistics that it's like 80 something, you know. But women are like,
yeah, they still don't want to look at the facts.
That's not my reality. Just because you've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bad men or whatever, that goes to show you need to stop.
Right.
Avoid with men and sit down and assess why you want this external validation, why you want this external dopamine. You know, assess that so that you can go to the top men who, not top as in the percentage, as in 10%. You can go to the men who can reciprocate healthy love to you, because now you are at a healthy place. That's what I preach here. I don't really preach that, you know, do this so that you can get the 10% men, because generally I don't think a lot of women have deeped what it takes to be with someone who is a 10% man.
Right.
You know, they will not have time for you. They are working 60 hours or whatever, however many hours. They're not going to have time to hold your hand, go do Netflix and chill. Let's walk down the park. They're not going to have time for that. But I think women want the outside things. You know, they in their minds it's like, yeah, but I can have it all. It can work because I'm this special person.
Because I'm me.
Have you never met me?
Right. You know, but it's funny because a lot of modern ladies say that they want a man that's ambitious, right? That has ambition, but they don't understand that takes work and it takes time.
And you're gonna come second.
Yeah, and then you know that man is gonna be tired. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of modern ladies say that they want an ambitious man until they actually get one.
Right. And then he never has time for me. Well, it's a bit of, you know, it's counterintuitive, counterproductive, because if he stops what he's doing, you will no longer want him.
Right.
Yeah. Because if he stops chasing the bag and giving you the lifestyle that you want, you would deem him insufficient, insignificant, whatever, not meeting the mark. But in him continuing to do the things that you say you want or made you attracted to him in the first place, in him stopping that and attending to your needs, you're kind of like, ugh. So why not? Right. Why not be with somebody who can reciprocate the love that, you know, you desire, and you can also reciprocate that back to them? But, you know, that's nothing to write home about.
Right. You know, that it is, and it's nothing to post on social media about.
No.
You know, I think that that's really the main reason that things are messed up is social media. You know, because even back before the days of social media, you know, we admire, you know, the celebrities and everything like that, but we didn't know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know that they were going out having yacht parties and going to Dubai and all of the fancy clothes and jewelry. We didn't see all of that. No. But now we're seeing it, and we're seeing, you know, in-depth pieces of their lifestyle, and we want that too, right?
The envy is seeping in, and then if you throw in like content creators, not even content creators, I'll say influencers, you know, who have sponsorships. People, most of these things are sponsorships, you know, that they did not pay for these trips. They did not pay with their own money. They're actually getting paid to be flown out, to make you think that that lifestyle, you can also get it. There's just so many things going on social media, and most of it isn't true. But again, that's what we're feeding to this generation that's coming. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're going to win them all. Again, we're not trying to win them all. We're just trying to speak to that one who is just ignorant.
Right, absolutely.
Like, just chasing the crowd and like, yes, queen, and then they start being like, actually, that doesn't make sense.
Right.
I just need them to stop within their tracks and say, oh no, I want different. Oh no, I don't think men are trash, you know? And then you lose all your friends, by the way.
Yeah, that's true too. Because God forbid a woman stand up for men's rights. You know what I'm saying? Whew.
Trust me, I know, like when I started on Kevin, they were like, wow, how do you, I thought you were very, why are you with Kevin? And I was like, no, but hear me out. You asked me why I like him. Are you going to listen to why I like him?
Right.
You can't project your shock onto me and not ask for my clarity. No. I want to let you know the reason why I'm there. So I remember, like, when I started to, you know, hold their hand through the process, I pretty much had to hold their hand through the process. Now they send me links.
Yeah.
Oh, have you watched this from Kevin?
Yeah. Hey, Kevin's the GOAT now.
You know, it's not to say, you know, we agree with everything he's saying, but
right.
I can take it in its entirety and weigh it out and say, okay, in reality, this makes sense. Or in principle, this makes sense. That's why I will do this, so that this principle doesn't come to play. You know, things like that. Rather than, no, let's shush him or let's cancel him. Because in my head, I'm thinking, if you cancel him, yes, he's cancelled off of online, but it's a mindset. And a lot of men hold that mindset. So if one person is cancelled, then you have to cancel all men. You would have to cancel all men who think like that. But the thing is, you want the men who think like that.
Do you know that there are a lot of ladies that definitely want to cancel all men?
Okay,
yeah. I mean, I'm serious. There are spaces on YouTube. They try. There are spaces on YouTube where ladies are literally telling other black women to not birth black boys.
Really?
And I just came across a clip on Instagram yesterday. It's from a guy called Alpha Sincere, right? Okay. I've been following him for a little bit, and I'm definitely trying to get him on my channel sooner rather than later. But he says that he discovered this book that's titled How to Destroy a Man Now.
Wow.
And it was all about leveraging the victim mentality and leveraging the legal system because it's already stacked against men.
Right.
And leveraging the believe all women, because all a woman has to do is say something, and even though it's not true, you know, let's just say if I got charged with assaulting a lady, right?
Yeah.
If it came out that it's not true, my reputation is still tarnished.
Exactly.
Just by being
no one thinks about that. No.
Right. You know,
you're guilty until proven innocent, basically.
Exactly. Going back to Johnny Depp again. Career ruined.
Just like that. And then you're probably just going to get, sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry for your pain and suffering.
Exactly. You know,
get over it.
But, you know, I think that there are plenty of eligible black men, but I think a lot of the ladies just don't want to quote unquote settle when really they're not settling at all. And then if it's, let's take this dynamic. I gave the numbers of it's 9% of women that earn $75,000 or more, right? 13% of men.
Yeah.
Look at the dynamic of what it takes to be there.
Yeah.
It's the women have to be too masculine, right? And the men up there at that same level don't want that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with getting to the bag and earning the money, right? But can you switch that off when you walk through my door?
Yes.
And a lot of ladies don't want to turn that off. They want a man to turn around and submit to them.
Yeah. But still want them to be masculine. I don't know
right,
how. I don't know how this is possible. You want the man to lead. You want the man to take initiative. You want the man to be dominant in a healthy way. But you won't be quiet. I don't know. I don't know how. And the loudest women are the ones who have never been married. Right. And they want marriage. And I'm like, you are shooting your. It's like your what's it called? Your catch-22 situation, because you want one thing. Is it cognitive dissonance? That's it. You say you want these things, but your internal beliefs, your actions, or the lack thereof, are pushing you far and far away from the things that you say you want. And we're constantly letting you know, hey, you can still get the things you say you want. However, it's going to take just a little bit of work from here. It's like, but no. To me, I personally don't continue trying to change the women who have that kind of mindset. I don't really speak to them like that. It's more like, okay, I like to hear their perspective, get what's in their mind, so that I can educate the ones who are ignorant.
Right.
Because sometimes you just can't continue to be a dead horse, isn't it? Exactly. You have to let people make their own mistakes, because they're accountable for that. You know, it's quite sad, but not everyone's going to have happy ever after, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, the old saying goes, and I've witnessed this for myself. You can lead a horse to water, but you can never make him drink.
No.
Never.
No. And literally, we're handing you, ladies, we're handing you the cheat code. You know,
right.
They've told you. I remember growing up, there was a time I always wanted to know what was in men's head. And now I know what's in the head.
Right.
They're telling us what they want. What do men want? What do they want? But now they're telling us what they want. Because I remember, like, before I got married, I say on my channel here that I knew that my duties and my responsibilities as a wife, and, you know, it's something I held close to my chest that I was proud to do, or proud to uphold, right? And because I didn't really know what was in men's heads, and I didn't know what, like, a true husband needed to also bring to the table, I think that was where the gaps in my knowledge was as well. But anyway, when I came out of my marriage, and then, you know, being introduced to this new information, I was like, oh, so they do want these things. I thought all along I was boring. I was like, oh, so they do want this. Oh, okay.
Right.
I needed to turn into this whole Tatiana, you know, be out and about with my nails, you know, get the wigs in check, you know, get the outward thing. I'm not saying those women are that. I'm just saying that I thought I needed to present so many other things because I thought that was where the value was placed. But in actual fact, it was the simple things like, I want peace of mind. I want you to smile at me. I want you to cook me. I want you to rub my feet. I want you to run my bath. And I was like, oh, okay, I already do those things. Oh, I just thought they didn't like it.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, so now I can just fine tune it for someone who wants it and someone who wants to reciprocate healthy love back. And it was just such a breath of fresh air for me. And it was also a self-esteem boost for me as well, because I didn't know I was operating from a place of low self-esteem. That's why I picked someone I needed to, help, bring into something. When in actual fact, healthy love was there all along.
Yeah,
and they want this peace. They don't want drama, and I don't want drama either. So it's like, yeah, manosphere. That's why I'm here for life. I'm with you guys.
Right. And it doesn't. Listen. There's one more thing. I'm glad you said that, because it made me think about this. Men can sit in silence with their lady, right, and be good.
Yeah.
Whether it's just watching TV, just watching. If we just sitting back chilling, right, and you on your phone, I'm on my phone, or whatever, we good with that. But I heard a lady say that peace scares her.
Yeah. Okay.
And I found it interesting to learn that a lot of ladies think like that too.
Yes.
Because
chaos has normalized, isn't it?
Yeah. And if something is not going on, if there's drama, they think that there's something wrong. Right. And well, this must be the peace before the storm, right? Or the quiet before the storm. So then they get too far in their heads and start creating issues that really aren't there.
This is what you honestly, this is when women say, because they've been with so many toxic or bad men, they can be the good men. This is when I say, no, you cannot be with a good man, especially if your appetite has picked all these bad men in the past. You'd have to have it checked before you can eat from this table. Because the truth of the matter is, I always give this example where in your past relationship that was toxic, you were used to the back and forth. He yaps, you yap, verbal, hey, everyone's throwing stuff. It's very chaotic, and everything's very heightened all the time. But now you've picked a healthy man, or a healthy man has picked you. You've expressed your what's it called, sadness or disagreement with something that they did, like, babe, this made me really mad, this made me really upset. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, babe. Yeah, I'll do this to make it right. All of a sudden you're like,
yeah, it was supposed to be more behind that. Yeah.
And then, they make it right and there's peace. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, but that went too no. Right. I need more fire. This is it. When that inner, we haven't addressed our appetite there, because we have to understand that once there's that back and forth, you've voiced out your concern. Your partner who's healthy is trying to reciprocate love and understanding and validation in those moments. Case closed. We move on as a team, right? That's what happens in healthy relationships. That's the thing. It can be quite mundane and monotonous. And people are like, yeah, but I kind of want a bit of spice.
Yeah.
They want that 50 Shades of Grey stuff,
Right. Just like Blue Jazz says that she wants to be in a toxic relationship. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Oh, women.
But let me give you one more analogy, and I'll leave you with this. A lot of ladies are saying what men want, right? But they're not presenting it in a way that's appealing to men. If I made you a steak and mashed potatoes, asparagus, just made a really perfectly made meal, right? It's good, right? But if I pick up a trash can lid and turn it over and put that steak, asparagus, and mashed potatoes on the trash can lid and give it to you, you're not gonna want that.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of ladies are doing. They're trying to give men something on a trash can lid.
Right.
And we don't want that.
No.
Will you please put it on the plate? Put it on the plate of femininity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put it on the plate of being friendly. Put it on the plate.
I think you just answered this question. Nice. I love that. Oh, you're preaching.
What is a helpmate? Help me. Yeah.
Because that's just what you were talking about. Like place it on the plate of femininity. Yeah.
Right. You know.
This is where it's at.
Right. I think that being a helpmate and a helpmeet, it means to help give that man what he needs to be that provider, right? You know, if I got to put on my uniform to go to work, right? Oh well, I'm gonna get his uniform ready for him. So that's one less thing he has to worry about in the morning to get in the door. Oh well, you know, he's doing all of this extra stuff. I'm gonna pack his lunch and cook dinner, so that's one less thing he has to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Because like me right now, you know, I have to do it all. I gotta cook, gotta clean up, I gotta wash dishes, I gotta wash clothes. You know what I'm saying? I gotta fold the clothes, gotta put them up, I gotta cut the grass, gotta clean the pool. I gotta do all of that on top of going to work, on top of my YouTube channel, on top of church, right? Wow. So, and then on top
and then you're gonna go deal.
You know,
a queen.
Exactly. You know, and you know, I can do it by myself, but it would be so much easier if I didn't have to. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, when you're doing it for yourself, when you're by yourself, that's just an adult, isn't it? But then when you're with someone, then there has to be that benefit, you know? Like, how can you best serve me and how can I best serve you in the languages that we both speak? This is where it's at. Rather than, no, I want to lead. And because I have all these things, and then you also want to lead, and it's like bumping heads, but those are not our roles. This is when people enter in that we are equal, you know, we're equal in this partnership, when in actual fact, it's not like that. That is not the dynamic, isn't it?
It is not at all, you know, and it is not the fact that men just want somebody to do all of these things for us, but it motivates us, you know what I'm saying? Because my girl, she's not, my wifey, no, she's not touching a lawnmower. Not even a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She's not getting out there cleaning the pool. I got all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I won't help and pitch in, you know, to do the laundry. I want to be very hands-on with my kids too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not that I won't chip in for that, but I mean the majority, I mean, give me a little bit of relief. You know what I'm saying? That's all we asking for. We're not asking you to be a slave. No. We're asking you to help make life easier. And in return, you get our provision, you get our leadership, all of that stuff, legacy, you know, the way it should be. Yeah.
And I think it all stems from women getting the true healing that they need to get so that they can enter the dating market in good faith. You know, sometimes when we're saying these things, we're saying that there are all these amazing men. All the women are hearing is, but that's not my reality. You know, and I empathize with them, but if you want your reality to change, you kind of have to, you know, change your ways in order to attract better.
Right, you know? Exactly.
So that's pretty much what we're saying here. That it's fine and dandy that it's not your reality, but that doesn't mean outside of your reality it isn't a reality. It is there. The statistics are here to share or shed more light on the fact that there are men there and they are seeking and they do want you.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Absolutely.
these are the things that they want. So put your best foot forward and make sure that is the foot that you want to keep.
Right.
All the time, right? Rather
Yeah.
than I'm going to portray this, and then
Mm-hmm.
when the curtains drop, all of a sudden I'll just show my true colors.
Mm-hmm.
Then why did you do what you did?
Right, right, absolutely. And I think that it would be easier for modern women to learn that, these are the things that men want, instead of dealing with the Pookies and the Ray Rays
Oh
and
Lord,
trying to change them or
right.
trying to have the upper hand, right?
Shame
What?
them into becoming these responsible
Right, right. Why would you put yourself through that when you can, hey, well, this dude is already, right, he's already there. You know what I'm saying? So let me get on his program. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can help me out with some things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Yeah,
women
no, I
that are
think,
feminine are it.
yeah, there's just so much strength. There's so much freedom in that, in just being soft and just being like, hey, I have flaws, but I'm here working on them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think if women could just be comfortable in just being, again, I understand why they just can't be those things, because again, if you've grown up not being able to be all of you, you've been
Mm-hmm.
shamed for having expressing any kind of emotion, and you haven't been able to feel safe within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you grow up, it's you develop a defense or coping mechanism where you're just so tough all the time, ready
Mm-hmm.
to fight somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
even if someone is there to love you and protect you, you always see it as an attack. And the
Mm-hmm.
truth of the matter is, until we address that, because it's for us to address, you know.
Right.
And I always give this kind of analogy where there's a table, a fresh table, and you're ready to work on the table with your laptop, but you
Mm-hmm.
notice that there's fresh poop, sorry to say, on the table.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, but how did that get there? Because I didn't put it there.
Mm-hmm.
The truth of the matter is, you can turn a blind eye to it and keep working whilst that poop is on your table. But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? It's going to seep into your nose and it's going to infect, all areas of your life. And sometimes we have
Right.
to understand that coming into this world, our parents, our caregivers, the society, whatever, they have given us that fresh poop on the table. It's there. But unfortunately, it's our table. And if we want a
Mm-hmm.
clean table, we're going to have to do the work. We will have to shovel it. Hello,
Yeah.
somebody. We're going
Right.
to shovel it off, have a clean table, and then exercise healthy boundaries when new people come into our space and want to our table.
Right.
Because oh no, we've got boundaries now. We can remain soft, we can remain at peace, we can remain friendly, but still have boundaries and say, hey, no, I cannot tolerate that because I'm in a new space. And I think people think having boundaries or standards means you have to be rude and treat everyone less
Mm-hmm.
than. No. You can have standards, level up, whatever, but still
Mm-hmm.
be human and understand that, oh, it's just because they don't have the capacity to give me what I want. It just doesn't mean they're less than me. No.
Right.
And I
Right.
think this is what I'm trying to get women to understand, that it's not that someone's less than you. It just means they don't have the capacity to give you the things that you say you want. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that you're above them or anything like that. And yeah, that's just something I wanted to throw out there to the women, because I don't know what they're on about their
Yeah. Yeah.
head.
Yeah, your message is very much needed in our community, and I really just commend you for your bravery for wanting to do that, right? Because those modern ladies, they'll be
Oh
quick to
yeah,
attack if you say anything
yeah.
that favors a man.
Yeah, I know. And like in the comments, I pretty much respond to all of my comments. And we're always having like quite a healthy dialogue, even if someone disagrees with what I'm saying. I try to understand where they're coming from, and then if it can be salvaged, the relationship, then you know we can salvage the relationship. But if they're just there to argue, then it's kind of like, well, I don't think we can get anywhere with this attitude. So you do your thing, because clearly it's working for you in your reality. I'll continue to do what I'm doing.
Right. And you know, that's all you can do, you know. Just try.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gabrielle said women want the man, but not the assignment that comes with. Gabrielle, I'm gonna have to send you a link because we need you on here, okay?
I know, right?
I'm gonna have to message you outside of this, because I really love the gems that you've been dropping in this live stream today. And we're gonna have to wrap it up. I can't believe we've been speaking for this long, JD.
Yeah, it went by quick. It went by very quickly.
Absolutely. But I've really enjoyed this. I hope you have too.
Yes, likewise. I've enjoyed my time speaking with you, and I hope that this is not the last time. And I promise you, we will work out this time difference, and I'll get you over on my channel too.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
no, I'd love to come on the channel as well.
Absolutely.
I'll also, you know, behind the scenes, we'll get another date in the books when we have our next availability as well.
Okay, I would absolutely love it.
Amazing. Thank you guys for coming. But yeah, let's see. I thought there were more comments, but we have answered them all. So yeah, until next time, guys. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.